You're hanging with Hero Lair again, you movie freaks. We're your meatheads. I'm Dan. They are Josh and Mario. This is, I think, official full trailer number 1, or maybe trailer number 2 of Blade Runner. I think it's the best long look that we've had of Blade Runner 2049.
Let's check it out.
Every civilization was built off the back of a disposable workforce.
Joker.
But I can only make so many. Happy birthday.
Oh, the sound.
Then the cinematography is spot on to the original.
That's what we do here. We keep order.
Yeah.
The world is built
Ridley.
on a wall that separates kind. Now, on either side there's no wall. You bought a war.
Oh,
You're a cop. I did your job once. I was good at it.
Yeah. Deckard.
I know. What do you want?
That's amazing.
I want to ask you some questions.
Jesus.
The key to the future is finally unearthed. Bring it to me. They know you're here.
Batista's in this?
I always told you, you're special.
What does that mean?
Your story isn't over yet. There's still a page left.
I want that jacket.
Dude. Like, visually, that has got to be one of the most impressive trailers I've seen in a long time.
It really sets a good. It's the atmosphere.
100%
is so thoroughly original.
Oh my
Don't you
God.
find with a lot of the remakes? I mean, it's completely redone, remastered, and it's
Yeah.
But this one,
It doesn't look connected to the first
no,
one.
yeah,
No.
this
Like
one,
the Terminator movies.
yeah.
This,
Fucking throw
yeah. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
come on.
Gone.
yeah.
This one looks like you could actually, play the original Blade Runner, play this right after it, and not skip a beat.
Yeah, in terms
Not
of your the kind of the atmospheric involvement for the viewer.
But even the sound.
Yeah, that's what I was saying
The
before.
sound was
It's like
unbelievable.
that same ominous synthesized 80s synthesizer.
That was spot on.
Like that, and even so the look of the buildings, they had the same look of the kind of the foggy haze.
The
of buildings.
atmosphere was perfect.
The
Like you said.
large, big flat landing platforms. Slow. The ships aren't don't have that new scutterbug sound that the new Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of graviton kind of sound. It's
Yeah,
so good.
Production design nailed it. Sound design nailed it. Cinematography nailed it.
Yep.
I really like everyone that they've brought on. Jared Leto is perfect.
Yeah,
for
oh my God.
a weird kind of
scientist or
Steve
whatever.
Jobs gone wrong. That actually makes
exactly.
that makes androids and replicants.
Whoa,
That's
my
really
God.
cool.
Was that not the creepiest thing you ever seen?
Comes out of a bag.
Yeah. And there's almost this weird devious sexual element to it.
Put a white hand on him.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Awesome. Man.
Put a white hand on him.
And Ryan Gosling, I don't think says a word in this whole thing, but it just plays because Ryan Gosling he'll at least from Drive, Place Beyond the Pines, a lot of these other movies where he doesn't have to do his romantic comedy acting. He can just be a stoic straight man kind of thing. A lot like what Harrison Ford did really well.
Yeah, no, you're right, and it's like I get a very Harrison Ford vibe from him, like the way he's holding himself like Harrison held himself as Deckard in the first film, like just like you kind of capture like little glimpses and so reminiscent. Maybe it is the atmosphere, maybe it is everything, but his posture almost seems very Deckard. Like everything seems.
Yeah, I think he's retracing the steps. He's supposed to be that kind of more somber character that is slightly kind of becoming increasingly disenfranchised with the world around him. Good at his job, but it's really just a job, like kind of pushing through it as an arduous task. I think that's what you see from the original Deckard, right? From Deckard, right now you see Gosling.
Yeah, he's picking it up, man.
I mean, they're recycling a certain element to it, so that should fit.
It's funny you're mentioning that too, but it's also like I found like there was a lot of beats from the first film, like the feel, like the same amount of characters, or what looked like the same amount of like principal characters in this, like, you know, like there are female principal characters, male principal characters, like on what side are they on, is there a side, like what do you call a side versus, so there's definitely, they've done a very good job, at least in this trailer, of capturing the same beats that the first film had.
And what do you think of that line at the end?
Yeah, well, that plays into, okay, spoiler for anyone that's not watched Blade Runner, not dived in too much for it, but it's not really a spoiler.
You should have watched it.
Yeah, please. Like, if you're going to watch this...
You should have watched Blade.
Like, come on, don't watch...
It didn't do well, though. That's the thing. Like, when it first came out, it was not like, some out-of-the-park smash.
Yeah.
People didn't know how to take it ahead of its time a bit. Yeah. It was really more so... Because we were way too young when it came out, because it came out early 80s, right? Yeah. So it really wasn't until years later people appreciated the effects, the atmosphere, the story of it. And then really Scott got to release other cuts, which got to play into more existential crisis of these replicants. So getting back to what you said, at the end there, it automatically makes me think of the big question that fans of Blade Runner have always asked. Was Deckard a replicant?
Exactly.
So therefore... is now Ryan, is Deckard a replicant? And is Ryan Gosling a replicant? Like maybe he's a replicant of the same type of programming, because you're programmed to do some job, and then after so while you're programmed to self-destruct because you're no longer needed, right? Obviously you would need some sort of gumshoe futuristic detective, and hey, why not program him to do it?
Exactly.
Now,
if the Deckard one went away, well, this is version 2. We still need that job.
Okay, so remind me how it works, though, because I've forgotten. Like I can remember the woman with the scales. I remember her being naked and snake stuff. I remember all these. I remember hunting
imagery. You're remembering imagery.
I remember him hunting. God, what was her name? What's her name? The actress.
Yeah, it's not coming to me. I can see her face.
Dutch or Swedish. What's her? Oh, Daryl Hannah.
Right.
Daryl Hannah. I could see like Daryl Hannah's athletic form doing all that stuff, and Rutger Hauer and his.
Rutger Hauer.
Oh man, it was very well done. But I just don't remember what was their exact nature as a replicant. Like, what do they? I know they're stronger, they're faster. I don't remember what their aging was like. I don't remember if they had a cybernetic component to them.
Yeah, they were a engineered workforce.
Yes.
Right? For whatever you need. Right? And I'm sure it went the gambit of from security to
sex slaves
to higher labor, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just like just the rougher jobs or any type of menial work.
But they all had a lifespan, like a battery. Yeah. There was something built in that once they hit a certain amount of time living, done. Yeah. And then that was the whole big thing, because they were trying, like Rutger Hauer led his kind of little rebellion. They were trying to run away, and and obviously there's a bit of awakening there, a bit of consciousness coming in to them, because now they're robots, knowing that they are have a finite lifespan, and then having to deal with the fact that they will die and what that's about, and does that mean that they are not alive? And then so there's all these questions.
But they're cyborgs, and they're flesh and mechanical.
Yeah, they don't go. They don't go like Terminator depth.
Yeah,
where
it's not. It's
a
not
heavy
to-
endoskeleton.
No,
You
no,
never
but
see
like-
it,
But there's some type of
they're
synthetic on top.
But they're organic as well.
Well, it doesn't get into the fact of, if I remember correctly, of whether it's an actual organic, but it's definitely organic like that. It fools people.
Yeah, and I think it could age. I
Yeah.
think it could.
Yeah, because that's what I was asking. Because if
Deckard is a replicant, I think he could age if he could somehow get past the self-destruct mechanism.
okay, so there's got to be an organic factor as well. Then.
Yeah.
There is, yeah,
So,
there is. But that was and then the big line at the end is, like tears
Yeah.
in the rain,
Yeah.
gone,
Yeah.
because Rutger Hauer's talking about all of the things that he's seen, because I guess he was in the war, so he's like he's seen battle cruisers
Exactly.
explode and crash in space. He's seen this, he's seen that, and then
And it's almost
it'll all
like
just be
that
gone.
whole thing of like, when people die, they see like their whole life flash before their eyes. So it's like, is this guy really alive? Because he can see the same thing. And
And it comes up a lot too with I don't know if anyone follows Ray Kurzweil. Do you follow Ray Kurzweil?
Yeah.
As well? I know you're big.
Yeah,
into it,
I'm huge.
How he's big into the
singularity.
The singularity. Well, at some point you will be able to upload your consciousness to a computer system, and then your consciousness can live forever. Because his big thing is death. He sees death as a disease, because you lose Picasso, you lose Einstein, you lose Da Vinci.
Yeah, but you also use Billy Bob and his.
That's the thing.
And his,
There's some expendables, right?
His sheep inbreeding tendencies.
But you're not gonna. But how much space is that brain gonna take? Right? No offense to the Billy Bobs who subscribe.
Exactly. Subscribe.
What he's
please,
saying
Billy
is
Bob.
Your relationship between you and your sheep, I guess, is
Yeah.
up to you, as long as the sheep is consenting.
Yes, exactly.
If it baz yes, or
2 bars yes, 1 bar no. Ba.
We're very progressive here. But that's kind of what he's talking about, because now all of that life experience, knowledge, everything that could have come from these genius minds is now gone.
Yeah.
And it's right at the end of Blade Runner, where Rutger Hauer's character, replicant, right before he's about to die, just has this kind of epiphany.
Yeah.
Like it's gone.
Yeah,
it's
like
like
tears,
a
like tears in the rain.
and
so-
yeah, exactly. Tears in the rain. But it's just one of those things too. It's like, and then there's always that kind of human aspect of, is it, by having a finite timeline, does that create that genius?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Kurzweil doesn't talk about that at all.
Yeah.
Very much. Like, it's one thing. Like, he kind of assumes that the genius is inherent, or almost like a fate. Like, it happens where a lot of times, like, genius or any type of anything happens is because we know we're going to die, and we're trying to create either memory, or we're trying to create something, and we know that there's
striving.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Striving for
for
an ultimate deadline.
Exactly, right? So is that going to happen where would these people, now if the singularity happens, and that, would it be the same? So it's another
That's a good
another
point.
tangent.
Yeah, that is a good point. Because
I'll do this later.
Yeah.
When I'm a cybernet,
Yeah.
in my cybernetic existence, I'll come up for now.
Exactly.
While I can taste beer,
I'll write my novel.
you know.
Exactly. I'll write my novel later when I
Yeah.
can't taste beer. Right?
Yeah, that's an excellent point, because I think a lot of memoirs and people about Steve Jobs was how much more work he put in after his cancer diagnosis.
Well, that's the
And like
thing,
I said,
because you
it's
know
like-
you have a finite time at that point.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
So it's an aspect that could be
But is Ryan Gosling a robot?
yes.
Yes, that is the
robot.
question.
Who
That
knows?
is the
You don't
question.
know.
And can I get his jacket?
Yeah, this.
Yeah.
Because that was a good jacket.
Hey,
That
that's
was
a
a
pretty
good
good
jacket.
jacket.
I really
I'll
hope
make
this
some
thing-
calls to some of my wardrobe people. We'll see
Thank
what we
you.
can do.
Thank you.
I really hope this thing's good, though, man. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be very disappointed if this thing's. There's 2 movies this year that for some reason I'm very emotionally invested in as a viewer.
Yep.
One, I don't know why I'm so invested in it, but Valerian. I really want that to be good, because it's from the same guy that did Fifth
Yeah.
Element.
Yeah.
I really want a new kick-ass,
Like line.
Chicken good.
this insane
Yeah.
sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
And then this one, because the original Blade Runner scratches so many little itches you have.
Oh,
The detective work, the
Yeah.
sci-fi angle,
Yeah.
bit of action. And then when you get older, you can almost watch it like every 10 years,
Yeah.
and you get
So much
something
more
new.
into it,
Exactly,
you know?
yeah.
And that's a great point, because you're actually capturing it at different timelines of your life, and you're almost relating to different characters, or a different era of the character throughout.
For me, I think it's more that, like, you're right, it scratches so many different itches. There's like that noir detective.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the credentials.
Yeah.
The
the
noir,
gumshoe.
the noir detective. Like,
And we don't get a lot of that.
you know,
No.
like basically your
Also,
your Rorschach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I walked through the streets.
Yeah.
It was dirty. They looked at me for help, and I said no. You know what I mean? Like, there's that kind of
Yeah.
Politicians
gritty-
and prostitutes.
Yeah. Busted dog stomach line in the streets.
Rorschach's awesome.
Oh, God, that's a good movie. Anyway, sorry.
Very good. Very underrated. Watch.
Very cool. I really hope it's good. But right now, it's got all the elements. Take my money.
Yeah.
It'll be there. Yeah. All right, guys. Let us know if you're excited for Blade Runner 2049. Are you a big fan of the original Blade Runner? When's the last time you saw it? Chime in. Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. She's got a weird wig in it, though.
Yeah, but she's,
That's part of it, man.
I guess so.
She's
That's
the
the look.
it's the
she's
cosplay, buddy.
old and she's still
Hey,
beautiful.
man, you gotta get Sailor Moon 20 years ago. That 30 years.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. I'll try. Yeah.
Is Deckard a replicant? Let us know. Don't forget to subscribe. Also follow us on Twitter at the Hero Lair. We'll be back with you really soon. See ya.
Ciao.